going on, world? I'm Wesley from A Connection TV, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences, and I'm here to talk about Basketball Wives of LA. I just got finished watching the episode, so I'm not going to have to wait 4 or 5 days after the episode to get the review. So, on the last episode, we all know that Tami was going after Duffy to whoop her ass. At least that was her intention. Do we know if Tami can do it? No, we don't know, because we don't know the fighting capabilities of Duffy. And to be honest, I don't really know the fighting capabilities of Tami. I just know that she's about that and she's ready whenever you're ready. So because she has a mouth, people automatically assumes that she got those hands. But I've never seen an actual video of Tami fighting to know that she has those hands. At the end of the day, a lot of people last week were like, oh, she's too old for this. Oh, she should know better. Oh, this and that and the third. Oh, this and that and the third. Okay. It gets pretty frustrating. No, not frustrating, because I really can care less. It's people's opinions. But it gets really, to keep hearing someone justify someone's actions or reason with someone in the way that they behave based on their age. One has nothing to do with the other. But I guess people would automatically assume that because you are 65, you should not be acting a certain way. That's just like telling somebody because they're 45 or 54 that they shouldn't be in the club. Or that's like telling somebody that's 68 that they shouldn't be dealing drugs. That you shouldn't be dealing drugs regardless of your age. You know what I'm saying? And we shouldn't be fighting each other regardless of our age. We should not be fighting each other. But at the same time, I feel like Duffy is woman enough that if she's going to egg someone on like that, she should not be completely shocked about their reaction. That's all I'm going to say. Should she have gone after her the way that she did? No. She could have easily controlled herself and stayed where she was on that side of the table. But you can't tell someone how to behave when they feel like they're being poked or you know, prodded. Like, you just can't say, okay, Tami, I'm gonna keep talking and I want you to sit here and listen to me because I'm gonna keep talking. You can't do that and expect her to just sit there and listen to you. No. Like, no. She's gonna control herself however she wants to control herself. And because you kept talking and talking and talking with that smart mouth, like here's the thing, Duffy could have had a better way of handling the situation if she would have been more mature with the way that she was delivering her words. She had an attitude and she was talking like she was about that. So you can't sit there and talk that way to someone who already thinks that she's about that and expect them not to let you know that she's about that. At the end of the day, all of this would have been avoided if Tami would have put her hands on Duffy first. Tami should have definitely handled that business conversation as such and should have been really, really mature in front of her daughter when letting Duffy go. But she didn't, and she decided to put her hands on and push her out. Then that created a rift, and Duffy's not a punk apparently, so she's not going to back down. And then we get to Portugal and she's going to let you know how she feels after 18 months. Voila! There we have what we have. But it was quite funny to start this episode off with Tami running after or toward an area where she thinks that Duffy is, just so she can try to do whatever she claims that she's gonna do whenever she gets her hands on her. That was whatever. And like, Shawnee was sitting there tired, huffing and puffing, and like, you know, she's out of breath, Shawnee. And Malaysia's just like, girl, this is crazy, but I can really care less about Duffy, so it is what it is. I'm like, oh, we see what side Malaysia's on. Tami, Shawnee, and Malaysia meet up with Jackie and they start talking about the recent turn of events. Grown women going crazy. And so, you know, Jackie's like, well, I mean, I didn't really think this was going to be this way. Tami's like, well, what do you think? This always happens on the trip. She's like, yeah, I know, but, you know, everybody's always angry at me, and I just wanted us to come together and have a good time, and yada, yada, yada. And, you know, Tami's like, well, listen, this is not going to work. I can't be in this situation. Shawnee's like, yeah, we need to break them up. Like, if Duffy goes home, that's fine. If I gotta go home, that's fine. But one of us cannot be in this situation. It's just not going to work. And Jackie's like, well, I've already made up my mind on who's going home. Tami is going to stay. And I'm like, okay, loyalty, right? You know, that's the core. Like Malaysia would say, that's the core. So, and Malay's like, well, I'm here for it. You mean, you know, it is what it is. Like, this is the regular group, and Duffy's new to the group, so it doesn't make sense to tell Duffy to leave when she's new to the group. I vibe with that philosophy. It makes perfect sense to me. So they find Duffy, and Duffy's going off about how, you know, she wasn't expecting her to get up and go crazy. No, you're lying, because you've already heard that this is what she does. So if you keep hearing it and hearing it and hearing it, part of it actually is truth. Like, you're not going to speak to 10 people. 7 people are going to tell you that the robber went right, and you're going to think that he actually went left. There's only 3. No. 7 to 3, he probably went right, don't you think? So it's like, in my mind, you really should have known better, or at least should have thought about what you were doing at that particular moment. You know what I'm saying? Because she warned you and said, well, my daughter's not here, so just let me know when you're ready. So, I mean, those types of words is not gonna, doesn't scream, let's go get some ice cream. No, it screams that, bitch, you will be screaming if I get my hands on you. So, Malaysia and Jackie really don't have to say too much to get Duffy to be like, well, let me go home. I got this tour that I need to be on, and I got all this work that I need to do. Why did you come on this trip? That's what I'm thinking. Like, girl, stop it. But it is what it is. Let her say what she feels she has to say. If that's what she needs to get back to, then let her get back to it. If she doesn't have any hard feelings with leaving, hey, whatever. I thought it was kind of that Brandy didn't leave with her, being that that's her sister, and she about to go on this long-ass flight by herself. But it is what it is. They do what they want to do because they want to do it. So today's the day where, you know, Jackie and the girls want to go out because they're going to go to this castle, and, you know, they're waiting for Tami. Tami doesn't want to go. She doesn't feel well. She feels like shit. She feels that she shouldn't have reacted the way that she reacted. I totally agree. She feels that she allowed herself to succumb to whatever Duffy was shelving out. I completely agree. And I'm glad that she feels the way that she does. Besides all of that, she just so happens to mention that, you know, I could be possibly pregnant. I should not be acting this way. Everyone that's watching agrees. So they all go, but Shawnee. Shawnee wants to stay behind for Tami, and unbeknownst to all of the girls, Doug is a phenomenal dude, a phenomenal husband, a phenomenal father, based on what we see or have seen on the show, leading up to this 20th particular point in their life, where he decides to marry Jackie Christie again on top of a castle, which, by the way, was a beautiful castle. And it really, like, my head is like, I know it was not this colorful back in the day, but I really wish that I could have seen, like, the people, what they had on when they were building the castle, what they were going through, you know, like, it would be very interesting to see that and to hear, like, the songs that they would sing as they were building and what they thought they were doing, like, you know, like, on the top of that hill, like, you think of back 300, 400, 500, you know, 1,000 years back or whatever, and it's just like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, amazing. It's just amazing. It's just amazing, the concept of life so far back in the day, and the way we are now, I don't know, but Doug is simply amazing. He embodies, on TV, he embodies what love would be amazing, like what it would be like being between a man and a woman, and, you know, how he handled that whole situation, you know, not even letting her know that he was doing that. I just thought it was phenomenal. I didn't cry or anything. You know, Angel Love was all choked up and crying, but Jackie's surprise was cool. And the fact that he, you know, planned a little reception where they ate and they talked about everything, and then they met the girls back up at the hotel. The Intercontinental was really, really nice. I love the one in Miami. And, you know, Jackie and, you know, no, Shawnee and Tami felt like shit because they had missed it. And like she said, what was the point of, you know, Duffy going if you weren't going to spend the day with these girls and you ended up missing the wedding? But they made up for it because they threw rose petals on one of the balconies, and they had them come out, and they brought that raggedy looking dude from the park to come and, you know, perform for them, and they danced. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really, really cool. And the fact that we're getting the reunion next week, I'm looking forward to that. All the girls look boss on the reunion, and I'm loving Tami with the low cut. I think she needs to rock that forever and today. And yeah, that was the episode. What did you guys think of this episode, this season finale, besides before the reunion. What did you think? Leave your comments below. I'm Wesley from Incarnation TV, the network. Deuces. Explain to the people that weren't able to understand your history with your sister, if you can give us a little brief synopsis of how you came to meet and how that all worked out for the show.
Okay, yeah, I met Asia when I was about 15. I was about to turn 16.
I was trying to hurry. I didn't know nothing. All I did was I came. I didn't want to do nothing. I was so hungover. I couldn't do nothing.
There was everything else.
Right.